Welcome to Primordial Flows, where we tend to our primordial flows. Hello and welcome. I'm tuning into the energy, tending to primordial flows now for this message, and I'm feeling this deep exhaustion at the core, but then at the core of my being, but then also surrounding that is a lot of support and energy. And so that's what I'm feeling starting off this channeled message. And I also wanted to share a little bit about what I mean by primordial flows. So you can use your imagination of what that might mean for you. And also, for me, it's primordial is pointing to our origins and the origins of our beings, from cultural and regional landscape origins to spiritual and cosmological origins to mythological origins to just deep at the core of where we emerge from. So there's a lot of different ways to describe this in different cultures, and my ancestors and the cultures that I'm coming from and the lineages that I'm coming from and wanting to remember, relearn, and reimagine are Celtic, Irish, Swedish, excuse me, Spanish, Mestizo, maybe Tlaxcalan, Bulgarian, kind of all over Europe. And so there's a lot of different lineages and in the Mestizo line, possible Peruvian, or like I said, Tlaxcalan in Mexico. So there's a lot of things that are unknown in my lineages that I carry, and you might be able to relate with that. And tending to primordial flows is it's connecting, it's opening up space to connect with movement in a way that honors that even if we don't know where our ancestors' homelands are, the lands that nourished and kept our ancestors alive for thousands of years, where there were intimate relationships that have now been forgotten in a lot of cases, in some cases being remembered, or or in some have been preserved in some ways, but even in preservation, like there are also some that are alive and living, and I think that's important to distinguish. Preserving cultures is different than keeping them alive. So, in what way? Well, I don't really want to go down that rabbit hole right now, but maybe we will later. So the flows, it refers to our wellness kind of being measured in flow, or how much is our vitality flowing? How vibrant is our vitality? How vibrant is our flow of energy, of life, of vitality? And how much of this primordial essence is able to be in flow? Maybe not how much, but just like how vibrantly is it pouring through our lives? Are the channels blocked in any way? So it's kind of energetic tending in an intuitive journey type of approach. So as you're listening to these messages or following along, you're welcome to close your eyes and feel into your own being. And if you consent to connecting energetically, then let us do that. And you want to find your breath. Notice the space around you. As you breathe, are you breathing in front of you, behind you, above you, below you, to the sides of you, from within you? Where is your breath moving to and from? And do you want to move? Do you want to sway at all? I'm kind of sitting and swaying or spiraling my torso and my head, dropping into this space at the core. I know I was mentioning exhaustion before, and now I'm feeling a coldness. It's not really coldness at the core, it's more like a coldness from behind. And so when we connect in this way, and I tune into the energies, then I become a channel for tending to this, our primordial flows. And the way that I hold this space is through invoking divine love, source creator, above and below, all of the self, all 13 corners, directions of the multiverse. The divine spiral, oneness. The spirit of the lands where I am. Any spirits who want to help tend to this primordial flows on these coast Salish lands where I am, tending to you and your flows, and any spirits of the lands who want to tend to your primordial flows and the primordial flows of all beings. And clearing this space as we invoke these, as I invoke these, also invoking my wise and healed and complete ancestors. And any of your wise and healed and complete ancestors and guides who want to be present. I usually do this invocation in one gesture as these beings are being invoked. I ask the space to be cleared and sealed. If there are any beings who are not aligned with this, may they be escorted to a place of their most auspicious healing. And today, there's this rug that I'm asking to represent the container for this field, and I'm going to be moving with this rug as I channel into the message for today. Tending to our primordial flows. I'm seeing like folds of golden light, like fibers, like a yarn of golden light is like bunched up in rows, being stacked and being squished, and like these, the movement is like coming forward, and it's like my hands are grasping it and pulling it towards me. So this feeling of grasping these golden threads and pulling them towards me. It's like these golden threads are being spun from cosmic stardust from above and falling into my hands. And this is the source material from which to create a life with. And I have many different projects I'm working on, and so this light, this golden thread, golden cosmic thread, feels like the material of these projects. I'm also noticing that I need to vacuum this rug. Needing to maybe do some clearing. Maybe you need to do some clearing also in your space to be able to handle this golden yarn. As I say that, I feel like my shoulders and kind of the space around that area of my spine kind of freezing up. Maybe there's something around there that you feel frozen, like cleaning might be a burden, or not a burden, but it's this feeling of let's notice this feeling of feeling frozen. Before I was feeling that coldness in the back area. I think this is related to that. There's something about not being able to feel the love and the support behind you or behind us. Like there's so much love and support, like aeons of like healed ancestors just wanting to surround and support us and our mission and our purpose and our healing and growth and all of our most auspicious dreams. But it's frozen. So there's something about how cleaning, maybe the movement of cleaning the floors or vacuuming, like I'm thinking I have to do, that act in itself will help to start to defrost this coldness, because I'm also thinking of how that's the dust and the hair and the feathers and the all the fluff that gets on the ground, that accumulates on the ground, and the ground being like the portal to the ancestors, to the underworld, to the unknown, to the heart of the earth. And there's something about tending to that can open us up to that support. And when we neglect it, we're not connected to it, and so we don't feel that support. Okay. Maybe I just need to end the message here and clean my floors. I'm getting the feeling I can do that after, and there's something else that wants to come through. As I am a reflection of you. So no shame if you have dirty floors, because the dirt is also sacred. And this is just a reminder, and kind of like maybe bringing in a more intentional or mindful way to be present with the floors and with the dust and with the support. Oh. Feeling a pause. I'm feeling this like blossoming ripple coming out of my back now where it was once cold. And it's also kind of like a pool. Little people can swim in. It's like this flower pool for the fairies or something. Maybe you work with fairies, or maybe the fairies are calling you to work with them. And what is in this message? Maybe this is an invitation to create a fairy bath. And that can be a reminder for this message. Kind of like that reciprocity of us supporting the fairies and then them supporting us in this mythological language kind of way. Now I'm feeling this rainbow arced above my head, and there's rain pouring from the rainbow, or like from above the rainbow. There's still that kind of cold shower feeling. But the coldness is giving like a sharpness. Like, hey, remember you're alive. This is what it feels like. This like sharp, fresh renewal. Maybe that's how it'll feel when we clean our floors, and we'll be able to move on and face some things that we haven't been able to face before, or we're struggling. There's something about time. Maybe feeling like there's no time. The pressures of time to do and complete tasks, and like it's just really hard, and to bring yourself to do certain things, and maybe the pressures, you felt the pressures of time. But this rainbow is kind of melting those, not only the pressures of time, but also the resistance to the thing. So there is a renewal and an ease and an opening. I'm thinking about what could I put outside for the fae. I have a shell. Maybe they would like a little shell bath. But the image was of a flower, so maybe Maybe it's a symbol for when you see flowers with water in them, to connect with the Fae. Okay. I'm feeling this light being come through at the center, at the core, kind of pushing everything else away. It's feeling like, okay, we're here. We've arrived, we're here. And I'm hearing like you have choice. You have choice in what you want to create in this life and how you want to move forward. You have choice in also how you want to express yourself sexually. Man, the dust in my floors has never been so apparent. I think that will clear a lot of things up. Maybe even some like sexual tension or creative tension. Okay, I'm getting the feeling like, okay, we're getting to the heart of the message. We're getting closer. We're feeling the primordial flow start to fill us up more and more. Well, I'm getting the feeling of like the extreme cleanliness in like domesticated living spaces being such a contrast from the natural world and nature outside. And how it's not really so separate. Like we've built our lives in this kind of separated way. I'm getting the image of like having a pile of dirt. Like, I mean, well, if you have potted plants inside, there's dirt already, but I'm thinking about like soil tending. Like, what's the difference between the ground and the floor? The floor is like this barrier or this container, protection, boundary to the ground. So how does this relate with primordial flows? The image I'm getting is that ground, like having if you don't have potted plants or anything that you're growing inside, maybe even having like a little tray with some soil on it, just as something to, this is like an altar suggestion to connect to that more, to make space for that. Like contained space for that connection to the ground and to the earth. Specifically something about soil. Maybe you already have something like this, or maybe you have a compost pile, or maybe something else. But if you want to share, if you're feeling this energy, if you want to share like any ideas that are coming to you, or any practices that you do or are thinking of that might relate to this connection point. And the soil can represent the soil within you that you're cultivating. Especially, well, as I'm recording this in the Northern Hemisphere, we're moving into the fall and winter season, and so this season is, in these times we get to get close and quiet and be with our dark inner landscapes, our inner soils, and we can get intimate with them. So that's what's coming through. Just making a place for that in our world, externally and internally. I'm hearing in time and space, but also those things can be so abstract. I mean, like where you are physically, the land, where you are, and connecting with that. And connecting with the soil in this way. Or in a way that you feel inspired to. Might start to bridge some and open up some primordial flows. Open up some healing, some acknowledgement. Especially of things in your life that you feel like you have, like the soil can be a reflection or a metaphor of things that in your life that you've composted or that you've outgrown. And the material has changed in some way. How can we honor that continual process of decay and rebirth? So maybe this is also giving permission to some of our parts to decay and to become something else. or even to acknowledge those parts that have decayed. I get the sense that you will know what those are, because once they're decayed and transformed, then I'm getting the sense there's not much of an imprint left. It just is what it is in this continual way. But if there are things that are kind of stagnant, then they will make themselves known. And it could be made up of things that you are wanting to let go of, or have tried to let go of, or were forced to let go of. But in any case, taking some time and space to acknowledge those things and to feel into those things and how it feels to allow them to change. How does it feel for them to change? Maybe there's places or memories that we go back to a lot. And maybe that's something that's making itself known. Something that needs release, something that needs to be composted. To make way for new life. Like, what is that memory trying to show you? Can you hold that memory in your heart and just feel it in your heart and trust the wisdom of your heart to show you how to process this? I'm feeling my backspace kind of warming up just a little, like maybe there's some sparks. Seeing those memories like clouds almost. And maybe parts of them are. The way that clouds can carry seeds and then rain them down. Maybe there's also seeds in those memories. With space to feel and release. Maybe there's grief. Maybe there's sadness that you haven't allowed yourself to feel. Maybe you thought it wouldn't change anything because your mind couldn't rationalize it. But your body knows. And your body changes. as you release and process. So we can learn the language of our bodies, which is much like the language of the earth. And the language of dreams. Now I'm feeling like I'm sitting by a fire with you all. Like the fire's sparking and it's glowing and it's keeping us warm. And the wood is burning. All the smells. This fire is contained. In the way that the soil will be contained. Okay. I feel like we just had a heart-to-heart. I'd love to hear about how you received this. Until next time, thank you for sharing your energy and your love with me and with each other. Bye for now.